right.
Mine is too.
You did respond to my text. Thanks for that, you did.
Yes, I did.
I think you did.
I didn't get the last one, that's why I didn't respond.
No, I
showed
said you did, so
Yeah,
thank
that
you.
one I responded to.
I was thanking you.
Well, you are most welcome. As we say in Indonesian, sama-sama. Sama-sama, bro.
Sama-sama, bro.
Sama-sama, bro.
Sama-sama, bro.
All right, here we go. And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Jet Radio 1400. It is time once again for the Catania Chronicles, brought to you by Sam Catania and Sam Catania Painting. And
Fist from your face.
Sam is in the house. We're getting everything set up here. That's okay. It's a big show. It requires a lot of prep time.
We usually have a little more time before we start.
Well, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
you know, when we have back-to-back shows, it's you gotta kind of shuffle.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
It's all right. Hi, AC, how are you?
I'm good, Sam. How are you?
Good. This is Catania Chronicles number 3481.
No, is it 58?
Oh,
59.
You're getting closer. He even knew.
How do you know and I don't know?
I didn't know.
I host the darn
We
thing.
didn't discuss that either. I was surprised you pulled that out. We didn't discuss that. Catania Chronicles number 59.
I pay attention, that's why.
And so I like to open every show thanking my staff, all my employees, because if it weren't for all their hard work and dedication to the company, we wouldn't have the freedom to do this.
Right.
So, Sam Catania Painting, 814-866-2600. And I'm opening today's show to tell you something that you may or may not know.
Okay.
You and I have never talked about it. So, in 2012, I created and invented and debuted a fitness video,
I did.
a DVD.
Somehow I can imagine that, but we never talked about that.
It was all over the news, and it went world. We debuted it at the Arnold Classic, Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic,
Right.
in Columbus, Ohio.
Mhm.
That was this last weekend. It ended yesterday.
Okay.
So it's been exactly 11 years. And the reason I'm bringing that up is we sold DVDs all over the world. We were selling them to professional athletes all over the world. It was really cool, really humbling. And the DVD consists of running and dancing backwards on a treadmill.
Okay.
At a runner's pace.
All right.
Not slow, at a runner's pace.
Not easy.
So, I was working on that prior for probably about 10 years before we put it on DVD and released it. And I told everybody, I still tell people, I can do anything, any dance move, anything on a treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
Any dance move on a treadmill. I can dance on a treadmill, backwards. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because my special guest today is Bill Boyles.
Yes.
And Bill Boyles, back in the day, we're going back to kind of like a throwback.
Mhm.
Bill Boyles, what he can do you can still do it even at the age of 100. You look good for 100.
I know.
Even at your
I watch
elderly
your
age.
cardio craze, that's why.
That was a good comeback. So, Bill,
My question is, before we get to Bill, my question is, how is that not wound up in a commercial yet?
I don't know. It
Dude,
was a-
you got it. That's a great visual. If I could do that, I'd put it
I
in a
don't-
commercial.
Obviously, I don't talk about it. I don't push it. Not egotistical about it.
Make a great commercial, though.
I had Paul Roller is the one that he and I created it together. Paul's as good as I am,
Mm-hmm.
and we went world with it. And we traveled to different expos, and it was a hard sell.
Yeah.
And we had a team. There was my sister, Sherry Moore, Luke Helliker, and Leah Hesh, who will be on this show at a later date. But the 5 of us were a team, and we took 2 treadmills to the events when we were traveling. And it was an all-weekend event. You couldn't shut the treadmills down. You couldn't let them shut off. You had to have somebody occupying the treadmill at all times. And it was a hard sell. It was a hard sell. The biggest response was I'd kill myself on that.
You're right.
People didn't have the confidence in
Yeah.
themselves, and professional athletes would tell us, this is designed for professional athletes,
Yeah, but,
not your average person.
I mean, but imagine if you're on that level, the balance and the poise you
Yeah.
could develop doing that.
Oh, yeah, and you can look it up, it's all over YouTube, cardio craze, it's spelled
Cardio
with
craze,
K's.
cardio
K's.
craze with K's.
Cardio craze
Like
with
Krispy
K's.
Kreme donuts,
Yes,
also K's.
there it is. And it was a hard sell. We couldn't,
Yeah.
I mean, we sold a lot of them, but we couldn't continue because it just got to the point to be frustrating because
Yeah.
people didn't have confidence in themselves.
Understood.
And that's when professional athletes are stepping up and buying them and saying, all over the world, and
Yeah.
reaching out to me saying, dude, this is amazing, but this wouldn't be for your average person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
So why hasn't it gotten into a commercial? I don't know.
Yeah,
That could be a-
I think it would make a great visual.
That could be an idea.
I'm just saying.
We'll see. And today, the reason I wanted to talk about all that is because Bill Boyles can do everything I could do on a treadmill on skates. I could not.
Yes.
So Bill Boyles was this god on skates. You take it, Bill.
Oh, my
You take it.
My God.
It's like,
God.
That was
wow.
okay.
I stand back and watch Bill, and it's like, and you have a group of friends that are
Yeah,
equally.
it started back in the late seventies when I started going to the skate lodge. They opened up the skate lodge. And before that, I was going to Westlake. But it was closer to my house, so I started going to skate lodge. And then just started skating there, and I met a bunch of people, and we started skating. And then another guy named Ed Davis, and he had a friend named Jerry. They formed a group. They called themselves the Bo Rats, because Ed was Rink Rat and Jerry's nickname was Bo.
There you go. Okay.
So you had to be really, really, do a lot of good stuff on skates to, be a part of their little clique.
Teresa Fullerton Abbey said Bo Rats with a heart.
Bo Rats, yes.
Dustin Brummagem, we don't know him.
We know Teresa.
Hi,
though.
Dustin. We know Dustin. We're friends with Dustin.
Okay.
Dustin, hey Billy. And then Bill Page just said Sam. But Bill, so it's funny because I've always heard the name Bo Rats from Bill. His nickname Bo Rats. I'm like, what is Bo Rats?
Bo Rats was the group.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody had a nickname. Everybody had their own nicknames.
Yeah.
And they put them on back of shirts. So
So this would be like what era? When you were like at your, when this was really
this was like
poppin'?
78 to into the 80s, almost 90s.
So that's like prime skating. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
I remember back then, like they would have like, wasn't there like a whole Charlie's Angels episode that was all about roller skating? It was like everywhere.
I believe there was, yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
that was a huge thing then, and then Xanadu and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
great soundtrack.
Oh,
And the thing is-
Come on.
Bill, you still skate.
And I still skate.
Still skate.
Of course, there's only one rink left in town.
Right.
And
Well, technically, Canada Lake isn't far from us.
okay, well, it's not
We've gone
far,
out there.
but in Erie, I'm talking
But-
about. There used to be like
But
4 or
trying to
5.
find Canada Lake makes
Yeah.
it seem like it's a million
It
miles away.
does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but in
Hey.
Erie, there used to be like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Different rinks. I
'Cause-
mean, you could go to Skate Lodge, Skate Erie, Westlake, Evans, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. And then, there was one on 12th Street, USA.
And
Because
they-
I remember that era because, I don't have the coordination at all to skate. But I remember it was such a big thing that I'd go with my friends, of course, I'd be standing out back having smoking cigarettes.
So you don't have the
But I'd go
coord-
with my friends to meet girls because it was such a big thing.
Yeah,
Glad your wife's not listening to this.
yeah, yeah.
My wife would probably be like, he actually left the house, even back then, amazing.
I'm just talking about meeting girls.
Well,
Yeah, we met a lot of them back in the day there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
I mean, it was a social scene, I remember, it was huge.
It was big. It was
Yeah.
really, really big.
I
And-
skated with a bunch of people that I'm still friends with,
Mhm.
was it 30, 40 years later?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
You're
great
showing your
thing.
age.
Yeah, well, I was good for 100 years.
And they still skate. They still get together. They're still
Yeah,
events.
yeah, this here is a bunch of friends that, you know, that were from different rinks.
Mm-hmm,
And we all still get together and go skating.
yeah,
Sometimes we'll go to Ohio or Canada Lake or
Yeah.
places like that, or even still out at Presque Isle.
yeah.
It's called now.
Yeah, the thing
Yeah,
is, you
that-
still get compliments and a lot of comments about your skating.
It's, you know, to me, I find it jaw-dropping. I'm like, how do they even stay upright? I
Yeah.
could not do it.
And a lot of us were skating, a lot of people skated with their laces tied all the way up.
Yep,
We skated with our tongues down and tied around the foot,
right,
and some of them had pom-poms on them.
yeah,
And it's admirable because I truly believe, and I've done it, I can do everything on a treadmill, on a moving treadmill.
Mhm.
I cannot skate like that.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
gone skating, I'm like, no, hold on, slow
Oh,
down.
yeah, I made him
The
ride
groups
roller
of us,
skates.
have gone, oh yeah.
I got into
And-
my roller skate.
Well, the thing about,
It's not a pretty sight.
no, well, I couldn't stay upright for 2 minutes.
I struggle.
But the
Yeah.
thing about skating is it's one of those activities that it looks like so much fun. You know,
Oh, it is.
there are activities out there you go, oh, I don't really care if I can't do that, who cares? Skating, it looks like you're flying, it just looks like freedom and fun.
Oh, yeah. It was some of the best times of my life back then.
Yeah.
And I shout out to like Herman Brown, good friend, I'm still friends with 40 years later.
Mhm.
You know,
Give Timmy a shout out.
Timmy Orjahowski. So, a whole bunch of people.
Did you ever get a bad injury falling? I mean, of course you took a couple
Well,
spills,
yeah, I
but-
mean, you could take some spills, but, you know, skating never a serious injury,
Yeah,
so.
Is that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? No. Okay.
no. It's Dr. Kareem now.
Dr. Kareem.
Dr. Kareem.
So, it's rather impressive. It's even more impressive, like I said, my skill set on a treadmill. It's moving,
Mhm.
constant. And then I look at what he can do on the floor,
Yeah,
on the skating rink. And you should see me out there. It's rather comical.
We skated to a lot of R&B music,
yeah,
popular music back then, but a lot of R&B because they had a second session
sure.
at Skate Lodge from 11 to 2. And a bunch of people from Ohio, like Nappy's Roller down in Ohio, would come down and skate with us. We'd go to their rink and skate with them. So it wasn't just in Erie we were traveling to.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and that's part of the fun too
Oh,
for
my
me is like,
goodness, yeah.
you know, they always choose the, you know, the good, you know, upbeat music, the, you know, the long 12-inch remixes, and you guys would be out there. I mean, like I said, I wish I could do it because it looks like so much fun.
oh, it's great.
Shout out to Ruffles for liking the page, and Bill Page, thanks.
Yeah.
And of course, Teresa Fuller. can have-
Bill would have those records in his collection.
Yes,
He
Bill
could, he
would,
could take care of any
absolutely.
skating event.
It's just, it's, I can't understand why I am so elite on a treadmill and you put skates under me. I mean, it's unbelievable how bad I look.
What particularly does it take though? I mean, what do you really need, for the people who are like naturals, what do they have that like maybe Sam doesn't have and I have none of?
Like turning around skating backwards. I mean, I used to be decent. I was probably average back in the day.
Yeah.
When skating was big around here. But I could never skate backwards. I don't know what that consists of.
I
Well,
would-
you gotta, it's self-confidence and, you know, self-taught
Mhm.
sometimes. And they had teachers back in the day where, you know, you could take lessons to try to do that.
Yeah.
The stuff we were doing, we were making up, dance skating,
Right,
jam skating as
Yeah.
they call it now.
yes,
And we would do all these different dances and jams.
moves.
Yeah, and moves and, yeah. So, it's just confidence. You just gotta have confidence in yourself that you can do it.
Shout out to Brad Klein. Brad Klein
Oh, hey, Brad.
responded and said, I used to skate 4 times a week, I remember. Yeah, Brad, tell us how you got there. I remember those stories too.
Yeah.
You used to walk.
Well,
You used to walk from
That's Brad for you.
the trailer court underneath, you know, below the landfill
Mhm,
on Robinson.
mhm.
You used to walk with skates and a bowling ball to Harbor Creek. and would fight us for a ride.
Brad's
Walk
still-
there, walk
Brad's
back.
still walking.
And Brad's still walking.
He's still
It's
walking.
unbelievable.
He's always walking.
It's unbelievable.
Walk the face of the earth. But now correct me if I'm wrong though, in that era, like, you know, late seventies, early eighties, was there not like, because I know this happened with skateboards too, like a big advancement in skates, like they were just, because the skates people had in the sixties were pretty rudimentary as I recall. Didn't they like really advance the skates and they were,
Oh, well, yeah,
so
there
you
was,
could do more with them and,
yeah, there was different types of skates you could buy, and you could adjust them to what you wanted to do, you know?
oh, okay,
Which is, a lot of us did that,
yeah,
you know? Like Rydell's,
right.
and they had Chicago,
Mhm.
just a bunch of different ones, and then you adjust them and your wheels.
Right,
Some people loosened up their wheels so they weren't as tight, so you could do certain maneuvers.
Yeah, you had to help me
That's
with that when I bought
Yeah.
skates. You
That's
got me to buy
interesting.
skates
Yeah.
probably 2
And
years
speaking
ago.
of Teresa, that you
Oh,
mentioned.
also shout out to Michaela Sierra and Josh Samuelson for listening. Thanks.
Teresa Fullerton, her dad was a floor guard
okay,
at Skate Lodge for a long time. And that's how I met her and her brother and her dad.
Go Teresa.
Yeah,
how about that?
she was a very good skater too. Yep. There's a lot of good skaters back then.
Yeah,
But the thing is, they're still around and they're still.
Yeah, a lot of them
so
are still
good.
around, but the ones, that
So
I hung out with, a lot of them moved away or passed away, unfortunately.
So Bill says, we go skating, and Bill says, I'm gonna be a little rusty.
yeah,
he gets
I
skates
bet you were
on.
rusty.
And I said, so what's the definition of not rusty?
Yeah, right.
If you're rusty, am I just that bad?
Well, but that leads me to ask though, and not to imply that either of you gentlemen are old in any sense, but how late in life do people keep doing it?
Well, as long as they can or as long as they want to.
You just recently went skating. What was the oldest age there?
Probably me.
Were you?
I know the feeling.
Probably me.
And how old are you,
Yes,
Bill?
and 62.
Okay,
Okay.
just so listeners know.
And,
And
yeah,
he can
no,
still skate like it's unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, oh, I bet, I bet.
I went out to Presque Isle, and met a couple old friends from back in the day, Skate Lodge.
Mhm.
Annette and Lori Lewis, they're sisters, and they skate very well too.
Yeah,
Annette lives out of town, and she was coming in town, so we wanted to get together and go. So we went out, and there's, obviously a bunch of different kids out there, so sometimes you gotta be real careful, because the kids are just zooming in and out.
yeah, sure,
So,
sure.
But yeah, it's still a good time.
Yeah, I was just curious because, we all know sports like bowling or golf that people play into, well into an advanced age, but, there are people who cross-country ski and they're, older than anybody in this
Yeah.
room. And these sports that people continue doing, and it's really impressive because, you assume everybody at that point is like silver sneakers age,
Right.
go home and drink and insure, and that's not the way it is.
Right.
Shout out to Denise Peterson. Thanks for listening and watching.
Hello,
And-
Denise.
Hi, Denise.
And the thing is, I think a lot of it's muscle memory, honestly.
Oh, no
If
doubt.
you were that good
No doubt.
back in the day, it's muscle memory. You're not going to lose much.
Mhm.
If you weren't a skater and you're in your 60s trying to get on skates,
Yeah, good
it's
luck.
a whole different world.
Yeah,
Good luck.
absolutely true. And
Yep.
I'm sure at that age when you're young too, you're developing like a precision and you're developing your balance skills and your inner gyroscope in a really good way that you probably hang on to for your entire life.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You know?
yeah. I mean, he nailed it too, memory, muscle memory,
I could just
Sometimes it goes
imagine-
away on certain people because, they stop doing something.
Yeah.
and,
Right.
It comes back though. It'll come back rather
Yeah.
quickly. I could just see. I've never watched Herman Brown skate that I recall. I probably knew him back then,
Yeah.
but I was much younger, so I may not have. And
Downtown Herman Brown.
yes,
Downtown Herman Brown.
do you know?
No, but I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that name.
Great
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
I-
One of my best
If
friends.
you've ever seen him dance,
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't
And he's
imagine
even a
him
better
skating.
dancer than he is a skater. so,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
We used to get people out in the middle of the floor, and he would he'd take his skates off and go out and dance in the middle of the floor, and people would come out and follow him and do the
Yeah.
same
Really?
thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Oh, yeah, we used to have a ball.
That's a good time.
I'd go out and do it on skates, whatever he was doing. So
Yeah.
We made up a lot of different dances and moves and
Yeah.
stuff too, so. But,
Speaking of Dustin Brummagem, who reached out, hey Billy, I
Hi,
wanted to
Dustin.
throw a shout out and congratulate Dustin, Waterfordite.
Mhm.
Dustin just got his 4th degree black belt.
Oh,
So
very
Congratulations,
nice.
congratulate
Dustin.
him. Awesome job.
Very
Very
nice.
cool.
Well, you know, speaking of martial arts though, I was thinking when we were talking about developing those, you know, that balance and that precision, like I know guys who, you know, do Tai Chi, and I said, well, you know, I know it's, helps to calm you down and probably keeps you, you know, in better shape, and they said, yeah, but I never, when I fall, I never hurt myself.
Right.
Because they just have developed that ability to,
There's a thing.
You know,
you
handle that.
learn how to fall.
yeah,
There's really a thing. You'll learn how to fall.
sure,
Yeah, which I did. I
Yeah.
learned a lot of,
I
how to
bet.
fall,
Like,
especially when I was younger. You know, okay, I can't do that no more. You
yeah,
know, I gotta do something better so I don't fall.
yeah,
But, you know,
interesting.
yeah.
it is. And I don't see you slowing down as far as skating goes. I don't
Oh,
see
you know, they're gonna probably bury me with my skates.
Hence,
I'll
look
be
at the,
rolling into heaven.
tell us what the hoodie says. He wore a hoodie.
That is
Roller Skaters United, Erie, PA chapter.
That's
Very
our
cool.
group of friends now
Yeah,
that get together and go skating.
that's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's really interesting. I remember that era so well. Because I was like 13. I'm watching TV and I'm like,
I was into it,
I can't do it.
and I tried, and
Yeah.
I didn't get any better than average. I couldn't figure out how
Mm-hmm.
they skated backwards. And it's just fascinating. when
Yeah.
My
you see
dad
somebody
always
who knows what
wondered
they're
why I
doing.
kept going out there. He's like, don't you have something better to do or whatever? And I said, you should come watch me skate sometime.
Well,
He never did. My grandfather did.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, my grandfather.
But not
came
your
out there. Oh, yeah. I said, well, I could be on the street doing drugs. It's a good time. It's-
Totally,
yeah.
I mean, wholesome, fun activity. And like I said, you've got tons of girls to impress.
Oh, my goodness.
Why would you not do it
Oh, my goodness.
if you can?
Yeah.
Right? 814-866-2600, Sam Catania Painting. And today's special guest, we just wanted to do a throwback.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
very
Let's
cool.
do some skating. There are a lot of skaters out there that might be
Yeah.
listening.
Sure.
Let's do
Yeah, there's still a
little
lot of them.
tribute to them.
A lot of them around
Nostalgic.
Erie. There's still
Well,
a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of them don't go because, you know, for whatever reasons.
It's funny though, now that I think about it, like being in the hallway here at iHeart, you know, like half the songs that Star 104 plays would be great skating songs.
Yeah.
You know, these upbeat dance tunes, Dua Lipa and Doja Cat.
Dua Lipa is one of my favorites.
Could you not skate to that?
Oh, I could.
I mean, come on.
I could, but the music we listened to back in the day, there was a lot of different R&B.
Yeah,
Our favorite songs were R&B music to skate to, you know,
sure.
and I could list like a million different bands.
Machine Gun by the Commodores, come
The
on.
Commodores, SOS Band.
Yeah,
You know, Whispers,
sure.
a whole
And
bunch
even
of them.
beyond that, it's almost a form
Brothers
of
Johnson.
breakdancing.
Brothers Johnson, Stomp.
Yeah,
That was
Stomp,
one of
that's a
my
skating
favorites,
tune.
Yeah.
Stomp, yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Even
Yeah.
just, I'm picturing all this in my head, what I've seen, and it's fascinating.
Yeah,
It's just
it
fascinating.
was a true
And I have a
movement.
lot of that on CD, all that music,
Yeah.
because of a friend of mine, Scott Duke, who I skated with back in the day. He made me a bunch of CDs with all that old music.
I'm gonna go make myself a If I Knew How to Roller Skate playlist.
You should go roller skating with us sometime, Al.
Well, yeah, bring the
Bring the wife.
EMTs
Bring
is
the
what
wife.
you need to bring.
You should probably put skates on and practice in the hallway.
Yeah.
That way when you fall, nobody
Yeah.
can see you.
You know what, let me tell you what, our building and our neighborhood is such that if I put roller skates on and went down the hallway, nobody would turn their
Well,
head.
yeah, most rinks have those, like those triangle things
Oh,
on
yeah.
wheels that you can use.
That's what I need.
Yeah,
I
to
need-
prop yourself.
I need the bumpers.
Yeah, you need bumpers.
That's
You
awesome.
need padding when you fall.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I just wanna do something more nostalgic,
I enjoyed it.
you know?
I enjoyed it. We're almost out of time, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
That was fast.
Thank you, good to see you now, Bill.
Again, Sam
You too.
Catania Painting, 814-866-2600, and Wednesday we'll be back on. Wednesday we're back.
Okay,
From 9 to 9:30, I believe.
very cool.
Thank you, Sam, for
All
having
right.
me on.
Thanks, Bill. Signing off.
All right.
Boy, that went quick.
It does go fast. It does go fast. Yeah, I mean, you know, like growing up in that disco era and, you know, just seeing all that.
I
skating.
still